There are several plots in The Lord of the Rings, The Rings of Power Season 2, but in order to adhere to mythology, it has to elaborate on one particular narrative element from The Rings of Power Season 1. In accordance with the agreement made with the Tolkien estate, the series essentially tells the story that J.R.R. Tolkien lays out in his writings during the Second Age of Middle-earth. But it lacks the rights to adapt a lot of Second Age content. Therefore, Amazon Prime Video has to make up for the lack of Second Age content with its own unique characters and locations. It was always going to be difficult and polarizing to adhere to Tolkien's thoughts and ideals while maintaining approximately in line with legend. Recognizing the source material is crucial, even when using the original Rings of Power characters and locations. Legally speaking, the program cannot dispute any of the events in Tolkien's writings. Show consultants Tom Shippey, a historian of J.R.R. Tolkien, and his grandson Simon Tolkien worked together to choose which tales to include. That being said, The Rings of Power Season 2 must have a certain plot since the program presently violates a crucial aspect of the Fellowship of the Ring. Galadriel's consciousness is invaded by Sauron in the first season finale of The Rings of Power. Galadriel, meantime, is the one who can perceive his mind in the Fellowship of the Ring, even if her mind is locked to him. The Rings of Power Season 2 must therefore clarify this discrepancy between the program and the legend. Galadriel and Sauron engage in psychological warfare, which enables Galadriel to get military information from him, as revealed in the Fellowship of the Ring. The show could possibly get away with this mythology change since the events conclude decades before this happens, but ideally the roles of these characters must reverse during the program to bring them into compliance with legend by the time of the original Lord of the Rings trilogy. There's no mishap in this lore change. The showrunners told Vulture that they want to go into the history that is clearly there between Sauron and Galadriel, citing this passage from the Fellowship of the Ring as a major source of inspiration. As a result, it is probable that the Rings of Power will begin to depict their mental power dynamic reversing in Season 2. The mystery sequences seen in Amazon's promotional video, A Look Inside Season 2, include Galadriel screaming while surrounded by crimson light. These visuals might undoubtedly be further delusions created by Sauron. This adds even more proof that the character's telepathic bond will be crucial. Galadriel will transform in the Rings of Power Season 2, becoming stronger even if she isn't as strong as she is in the movies. The first season explores a Galadriel, a warrior banished from the Blessed World, who is little known to viewers of the movies, but not to those who read the novels. She has trouble distinguishing light from dark in the first episode of the first season. Up until the last episode, when she adamantly refuses darkness, this motif persisted. She enters Season 2 with a strong character arc that will help her develop into the Third Age Queen of Lothlorien. Viewers glimpse Galadriel's memories when Sauron penetrates her mind in the first season finale. According to the trailer and legend, Galadriel will get the Ring of Power Nenya during the second season. The potential of showcasing Sauron's early memories becomes possible as she gains strength and begins to invade his mind. With the inclusion of never-before-seen knowledge from the Second Age, First Age, or earlier, this would provide a unique cinematic opportunity. Because the rings are linked, a direct route between Galadriel and Sauron will be possible with the creation of the One Ring, allowing for an even closer bond. The Lord of the Rings, The Rings of Power, Cate Blanchett as Galadriel in the Peter Jackson film The Lord of the Rings, The Fellowship of the Ring, and Sauron as Halbrand, played by Charlie Vickers, and Galadriel, played by Morfydd Clark, in the Season 1 Episode 8 finale, as she places a knife to his throat. Natural capacity for Osanwi is weakened by bodies. Having spent infinite years longer in Osanwi than Galadriel, Sauron is inherently an Aenir spirit entity. However, the fact that he is wearing a body lessens his strength, much as Galadriel's body lessens his capacity to communicate thought. Thus, in Incarnates, effective thought transmission necessitates strengthening. The text states that authority, urgency, or affinity can all be used to strengthen. Sauron in particular is a bit of an authoritarian, and Aenir's view often has the highest authority and the greatest urgency. He seems suspicious to her, yet she allows him to stay in a region. In response, the Lord of the Rings, The Rings of Power suggests that Galadriel's possible silence on Sauron's identity may stem from their nuanced relationship. In a similar vein, it's possible that the program layers on affinity to the mental exchange between Sauron and Galadriel. In the first episode of The Rings of Power, Sauron's mind control may have been expedited by what the showrunners refer to as a cosmic connection, but it could also be the same thing that breaks him in later installments.